Hello and welcome to my cards for the week. Today is Sunday, the 15th of August, 2021. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Deborah Jane Sutton. I'm an intuitive energy healer, mentor, coach in self-healing techniques, and a very passionate card reader. So let's see what the cards have in store for us this week. So what guidance do we need? What lessons in awakening do we need? I said lessons in awakening and one just jumped out. Did you see that? So there's a good plug for my lessons in awakening on YouTube. If you haven't checked them out already, have a look at them. There's presently 15 on there. I think on the homepage of the YouTube channel, it only shows 12. So click on the play all and you will get the full list of all the videos that are in my lessons for awakening. Lessons in awakening, I should say. And while you're doing it, you can subscribe, click like and share and all those other YouTubey things. Okay, so 2 cards have come out already. Is there anything else that we need to know this week? Anything else that we need to know this week? Any guidance? Anything to help us? Okay, those 2 came out and that one wants to come out. Any others? No, I've got 5. I think that was last week I had 5 as well. Oh, that one wants to come out as well. That's just a reminder. That's just a reminder of what's going on in the collective. So that's 6 cards in total. Any more? Any more? Because that's quite a lot for me to do. And I will try and go as quickly as possible. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, swords for me are, well, they're air, so they are ideas and inspiration, but you can also be aha moments, which is happening a lot at the moment. So because they represent the mental processes of our energy body. And look how quickly he's going forward. So this is basically, we have an opportunity to evolve more than we've ever had it before. And there is so much material out there that when you make that decision, when you choose to follow your divine path, and you choose to expand your level of consciousness, raise your frequency, however you want to word it, but just to do the right thing, to improve your life, to improve the collective, because that starts with improving your life, okay? Improving your energy, raising your frequency is going to then be reflected back to you in the collective. The collective needs some love. So, and we're all being inspired in different ways to do that. This card is about that. Look how quickly the horse is running. So horse is a positive movement forward. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And it's about changing your perception. I have literally just written a blog about this. So I'll put a link in below to the blog I wrote, Lessons from Dog. But anyway, it's literally on this topic, so no surprises that things happen like that, right? But this card is coming out first this week to tell us that any situation that maybe we're not loving it, maybe there's situations going on around us that we're viewing as negative, okay? And we want to change. We want to change what's on the outside of us, and it doesn't work like that. It works by changing what's on the inside and the way you perceive it. Okay, now if you want to change the way you perceive it, obviously raising your frequency is the way to do it, because everything vibrates at the frequency that you are. Everything in your reality vibrates at the frequency that you are. So your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, they're all vibrating at the frequency that you are. So if you want higher frequency thoughts and beliefs and ideas and inspiration, then you do need to consciously raise your vibration. So I'll put a link in below also to my first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness, which is free to download from my website at deborahjanesutton.com. I'll put a link in below, because that does help you raise your frequency, which then will move you into higher levels of consciousness, whereby beliefs change. You know, the world is a beautiful place. The world is a loving place. You know, and then you can see what you're perceiving now as being negative, difficult, traumatic, triggering situations. You can view them from a different perspective. You can view them from a higher level of consciousness. And then you can just take a breath, understand that you have created the whole thing. Because what's going on in the collective is a reflection of the universe within each and every one of us. We need to take responsibility for that. Okay, and that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. It's about taking a breath and looking at things from a higher level of consciousness. Okay, you can change the way you look at things. You can look at a situation and see the blessing in it. You know, this is where one of the challenges, it came up before. One of the challenges is to see the divinity in everything. To see the divinity in everything. In other words, to see mud and gold with the same eyes. Okay, and that's what this is about. It's about shifting our perception of everything, because it will open up new channels of heart-based directions for you. Okay, because it will open up when you can do this. And I'll put a link in below also to my video on understanding triggers, because I think that's relevant here. Because when you do that, you are putting yourself into a higher level of consciousness, and that will then, that frequency that you now are is going to be reflected back to you. So there's going to be change in your outside world, in the world around you. There's going to be change. Of course there is, because it's reflecting back your new found higher frequency. So that's why he's come up, because he has offers and opportunities. Okay, and the cups represents the heart-based direction. It's the emotions, it's the intuitive, spiritual, creative suit of tarot. And the fish represents wisdom. And so he's representative of a new direction, or could be more than one direction, that's going to become available to you because of this shift in consciousness, because of this rise in your vibration. Does that make sense? Because when you raise your vibration, you're then going to create in your holographic projection that you're calling life, you're going to create a reality that is higher frequency. So there's going to be offers and opportunities for you to do. It could be, it's not necessarily work related. Work and play, I have to say, work and play is a very human concept. We separate things into work and play. No, that's part of the old paradigm. Because where we're going, the things we enjoy doing are what creates our abundance. It creates our frequency, which creates our abundance. And it's play for us. When you're following your divine gifts and you're following what comes to you naturally, or you're following your joy, you're following your inspiration, when you're doing that, then that's fun, that's play, let's co-create, let's create together. You know, it's a joy. And because that frequency, you know, your abundance lies in your frequency. You know, it's, you know, your level of consciousness is your new currency. So you will also have financial security that comes from that, financial stability. There will also be financial abundance. Okay. So basically, this is the new paradigm, where we're not focusing on that financial abundance. We're focusing on expressing who we are. We're focusing on expressing our heart, doing what brings us joy, doing what we're inspired to do, doing what raises our own frequency. And then we share it with others. That's how we heal the collective, and that's how we rise to a higher level of consciousness, whereby there is greater abundance, and abundance covers everything. There is no point in having a load of money if you don't have happiness, health, or you're not in love, or all of these lovely, joyful things. Okay, we're moving into a paradigm where love and joy and happiness and health, and these are all part of the abundance, including the financial security. I hope that makes sense. Because it's coming up quite clear, and it is something that, you know, has come up before. So it is something that we need to realize that following our joy, following our excitement. I think it was Abraham Hicks that said, excitement is the physical resonance of, I can't remember the exact words, but it's basically, excitement is the physical manifestation of your soul doing what your soul came here to do. That's me putting it in my words. Someone said to me the other day, stop quoting other people, make up your own. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to. Excitement is the physical manifestation of your soul doing what your soul came here to do. There you go. And that's what this is. You're going to have more opportunities and more offers to do that. So it could be just creative endeavor, whether there is a financial input from it or not, whether there's an income from it or not. Don't let that stop you. If you can't see a financial income, don't let that stop you. Just express yourself, keep expressing yourself. The financial income will come when it needs to, or when it's ready, or what have you. Don't focus on that, because the more you focus on that, you're focusing on the lack. You're focusing on the fact that you don't have it. And this is the biggest problem with money. But let's move on and see what's going on. This is all about expressing your joy. Okay, and there you go, because you're the creator. The magician. The magician for me is the creator. I mean, we can call him the alchemist. There's lots of words for him, of course, but basically he has everything he needs, because he's got all 4 suits of tarot on the table. He's a major arcanic card, and he's got the pentacles, the cups, the wands, and the swords, which are all the elements. You know, that's your earth, wind or air, fire, and water. And this is the good fortune that he has, and he's creating this abundance. Notice how he's creating this abundance, and he can create from anything, because he's the alchemist. So he takes all these negative situations that we've been viewing as negative, that aren't really, and we need to love what is. Look at them from a higher perspective, with an open heart of unconditional love for everything and everyone, all of creation. And that's how we transmute the negative emotions and the negative beliefs into love. Okay, and that's what he does. He's the alchemist. He alchemizes the energy. He alchemizes the lower frequency energy into higher frequency energy, into love. I want to keep saying love. And you are the creator. You are the creator of your own reality. You are the magician. You are the alchemist. So this is coming to remind you of all of that. Okay, now what's going on is that you don't always believe it, maybe. And this, my interpretation of this card, well, it means stand your ground, don't give up. Stand your ground, don't give up. And here are what I interpret this as being the naysayers, people around you that are saying, you can't do that, you can't afford that, how are you going to live? You know, who wants to listen to you? Who wants to read what you're going to put out? Who wants to, you know, hear what you want to say? You know, these are the people like saying this. I haven't got enough time, you know. That's you know, an old one. You know, I can't afford it. I can't. There's all sorts of things going on. These are the naysayers. But you need to remember that the naysayers around you are a reflection of the parts of you that don't trust yourself. They are a reflection, a frequency reflection. It's all your vibrational frequency is being reflected back to you. So if you have a belief that you're not good enough, that belief will be on the same frequency as somebody in your reality, in your creation, telling you that you're not good enough. That's how it works. So you need to release, I mean, I think I'm a good example of this one. I had all this self-criticism, and people were telling me, oh, you need to put a video on your website, or, you know, you could do a video. And I'm like, no, I don't do videos. I don't do videos, right? I was like, no. And I was so self-critical. It was crazy. And then I found that self-criticism was within me. So once I released that, which helps when you understand that there is no one else, there is only you. And everybody outside of you is a reflection of a part of you. When you realize that, and you're really scared about putting something out, you know, when you understand there is only you, you are the whole universe in one human being. It's like Rumi says, you're not just a drop in the ocean, you're the whole ocean in one drop. Well, you're not just a human being in the universe, you are the whole universe in one human being. And everything around you is a vibrational match to you. Okay, now when you understand that there is no one else, what's it matter what you put out? And if you can release your self-criticism, people outside of you won't criticize you. And if they do criticize you, it won't come into your reality. It's not going to be a vibrational match. It's all energy, and it's not personal. It's not personal. If somebody criticizes you, it's because you have that doubt within you. That's what this card tells me all of that. So stand your ground, understand. If your family members might not understand your new direction, you know, some people might not like you taking this opportunity. They might worry that you're not going to make enough money, or they might worry that you're not following what you're programmed to follow, or I don't know what. You're not being who they thought you were. No, because you finally learned that you need to be who you came here to be, and who you want to be, who you choose to be, where your joy takes you to be, you know. So there might be people, right? But they just remember they're reflecting back to you, the parts of you that doubt yourself. And let's be honest, we all have parts of us that doubt us. So don't beat yourself up about it. Don't make it worse. But just understand that. Just understand that. So when they say things, just don't get triggered by it, because that's why triggering obviously has come up already today. Don't be triggered by it, because just understand that they are reflecting your own lack of your own self-doubt, your own self-criticism. or your own lack of confidence, or whatever it may be. Okay, so he's also a sign of courage and conviction. And I think that's really important, because it does take courage to follow your heart. It does take courage to put yourself out there. You know, I mean, as soon as I released that self-criticism, boom, my YouTube channel started. And I don't care. It's just like, I'm doing it because I love it, right? Can you tell? And so it doesn't matter, you know, what other people think, of course, because there is no one else. It only matters how you feel and doing what raises your frequency. I wanted to say, it's like the Pablo Picasso quote, the meaning of life is to find your gift. Okay, we could translate that as your divine gift, or your joy, or your excitement. Okay, and the purpose of life is to give it away. In other words, the purpose of life is to share it with others, but to express it. That's the point. Okay, that's the point. That's another quote that I keep saying about someone else that I might change to make it my own. So the meaning of life is to raise your own frequency by doing what you love and what brings you joy. And the purpose of life is to share it and express it out there to the world, wholeheartedly, with your arms flown open. And with courage and conviction. With courage and conviction. All you need to have courage and conviction for is, yes, I enjoy this. Yes, it makes me high. Yes, I love it. I want to do more of it. Fine, that's all. Courage and conviction in your own joys, in your own excitement, in your own inspiration. Okay? And if that inspiration wanes at all, just ask yourself, okay, do something a little bit different. Don't keep hitting your head against a brick wall. Don't go pushing the resistance. You know, it doesn't work like that. Okay? You just got to follow the joy. Follow the joy, follow the inspiration, follow the excitement. Because we have got this one, okay? And this is new for us to keep doing this. I mean, we've been on this journey now for a while, most of us, right? If you're watching this, you've been on your journey for a while. So there is a decision to be made, okay? And she can't see the outcome. And the moon is symbolic of fears. So, and the swords is your thoughts, your thought processes. So there is like a dilemma. There is a dilemma. It could be, do I leave this job and set up on my own? That's a big one, and one that's happening for a lot of people at the moment. It could be you realizing that you're in a relationship that you don't want to be in anymore. And you're like, oh no. And you know that expression, the devil you know. And we tend to say, oh, better stay with the devil you know. Why? We're working for the light. Okay, let's shine some light. Okay, so follow the light, not the devil you know. It's just the words, just kind of, you know, interesting. And of course, one of the reasons you have a dilemma is because the part of you that's not serving you anymore, you know it, you're in it, you're in that situation. You can't see what's coming if you make this different decision, if you make this different choice. But the point is, ask yourself, is where you're at the place where you want to be? Ask yourself, is where you're at, is that heaven on earth for you? Is that your version of heaven on earth? Okay, think about where you're at. Okay, is there something you could be doing to raise your frequency? Okay, well, I see this as one of them is where you're at, and it's based on fear and limitation, feeling that you can't do more, but you're blindfolded, you can't see what's coming. But you don't need to see what's coming, you just need to understand that this is not serving you. Think about it. You wouldn't even be having the dilemma if you didn't know that this side of it wasn't for you. If this side of it was your divine path, you wouldn't be having this dilemma, would you? Does that make sense? And this card is the one that fell out, the Tower. And I actually love this card now because for me, this card is symbolic of all the manipulation, control, the limiting beliefs, the trapped emotions. It's all that greed, monopoly, the whole lot that is coming down in the collective and within each and every one of us. It's also symbolic of our ego, you know, coming down. And it can also be symbolic of parts of our identity that we have created, perhaps around our faults or around our flaws or around our ego. You know, we might have created some egoic traits, personality traits, but this is also our belief system coming down. It's a system. This tower, it represents the systems that are collapsing at this time. And the systems in the collective, as in the political system, the financial system, the education system, the pharmaceutical system, the banking system, all these systems that are crumbling, okay? We've got to stop propping them up. We've got to stop propping them up. We've got to start creating from divine intentions the direction that we want to go in. Okay, we've got to start living the life that we dream of. We've got to do it now. We're creating heaven on earth. It's not a future thing. There is no future. There is no past. There's only levels of consciousness. Heaven on earth is a level of consciousness. Okay, and we need to access it now so that you can experience it now. You can experience heaven on earth as soon as you can raise your frequency to the level of whatever your heaven on earth is. If that makes sense. Everything is already in existence. Everything is already here. But you have to align with it on the same frequency. Okay, so your version of heaven on earth is going to be at a higher frequency. So looking at everything positively. Okay, so look, these systems coming down are symbolic of our belief systems coming down. There's all sorts of, thoughts and beliefs that are changing. It can also be very much biological systems that are changing, because we're focusing very much on our physical bodies now as we integrate more light. That was last week's video, yeah? Integrating the light. How did you get on with that? As we integrate more light, our physical bodies just become stronger and more flexible, more balanced, and just healthier, more joyful. And so it's all part of that as well. So this is a good thing, but it does represent disruption and chaos. Well, of course, there's disruption and chaos because there's change going on, but you don't want to stay where you are. So we're embracing the change. And this was the first card, remember? How do we change things? Changing the way we look at things. Changing the way we perceive things. Look at things from a different perspective. Okay? It's like that picture that you have of two people looking at a cylinder. And one is at one end saying, it's a circle, and arguing, it's a circle. That's what they conceive. Well, that's great. And then one person looking at it on the side, it's a rectangle, and to them, it's a rectangle. There's so many different truths. It depends what level of consciousness you're in. Okay, it depends on what perception, what view you want to have. You can rise above all of that, rise above the division, rise above the arguments, rise above the duality of it all, and look down and you'll see, oh, it's a cylinder. So that person wasn't wrong and that person wasn't wrong. They were both right at the level of perception or the level of consciousness that they're at. But you can raise your frequency to a higher level and have a look and see everything as it is. And then you get to choose how you want to perceive it. Our creative power, this is one of my own quotes, our creative power lies in our ability to choose our beliefs. We create what we believe. That's why they say, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. Okay, so you choose your beliefs. Are you good enough? Can you do it? Can you afford it? Okay, so you get to choose whatever you want. You get to create whatever you want. So we're going to have a few moments this week where we're going to just maybe be a little bit triggered and maybe have some choices to make. But when we do it from a high level of consciousness, they will be effortless and easy. Okay, so it is all about trusting, having faith, and I'm going to go back to following your joy. I hope that helps. I've got plenty of links below now, so please check them all out. And I look forward to any comments that you have that you want to make about your week, whether it's about integrating the light from last week or what we've done this week with triggers and stuff. Please let me know how you feel and how it all resonates with you. So lots of love to you all. Take care for now. Bye for now.